Oh,
So long rest.
Yeah.
indeed.
Incidentally, I should point out that Finian's max health was wrong on stream. I corrected it now after the long rest. He still had his old total of 38, but he wouldn't been able to use this before now anyway.
Aye.
Do I have time to prepare spells before we head out?
Oh, when you guys generally wake up. Obviously there's light now. Excuse me. Shining through the tree lines, you can see a lot more clearly. In the distance, you can see several other towers, much like the current one that you're in. And you're all just sitting around after now waking up.
Okay, Nigrax is going to take about 10 minutes or so to prepare his spells, so if anyone wants to do anything else in the meantime.
I shall prepare a spell also.
While I've been sitting here, I've got my spear out that's all rusted and shit. I'm just picking at it very full on.
As you pick at it,
Trying to
it
like
starts to come away.
scrape some rust off. Like, no.
You know, use a sleight of hand. You pull the tip off.
Oh no. I'll stow the thing, the spear tip in my backpack.
Simeon, how long's your spear shaft? I see noticing that.
Spear shaft.
Yeah. Could I use that as a quarterstaff?
This.
Or is it too short? Mind you, you use it one-handed, don't you?
The spear's pretty long.
You'll be able to use it as a quarterstaff.
They're about same height as you, I think, a regular spear. I don't know.
Doom said I can use it as a quarterstaff. I'm using it as a quarterstaff.
Who's doing?
Sorry.
This.
I am Demaster.
Sorry, some disembodied voice said I could use it as a quarterstaff. Did you not hear that?
This is very dear to me. Your need is greater than mine. Take care of it.
I will. Oh, I also hand you that ring of animal friendship I found on the last session if you didn't already had it.
I did not.
Mm.
At least I don't think it.
Right.
God, I've got a lot of shit.
Sit.
Why do I have a jar of pickled toes, for fuck's sake?
That is a
She
good
picked it
question,
up.
actually. I don't remember.
That was a goblin drop from the very first mission.
You've kept all of them.
Is that a ring of animal influence?
Yeah.
That's what came
I
up.
believe so.
Sure, I'll have that. A ring? I do not wish to part this my spear for money.
A gift. Consider it a gift to a friend. You'll have greater need of it than I.
I'll hide a small smile.
Right.
Thank you. So I'm gonna stand up, and if I see one of these towers in the distance, are they close enough to maybe see movement?
Not really, no. Not unless you had a spyglass. That was working.
I do not. Oh yeah, I've broken one.
I
whip out the broken spyglass, try and use.
You see a kaleidoscope of colours. They're dazzling to look at.
This thing is broken, clearly broken.
Doom.
Yes.
Sort of as Nigrax gets up, his an idea came to him as he was resting. He goes over towards the body.
Okay.
And he's going to cast Speak with Dead.
Okie dokie. Show me the description.
Okay.
Bear me a second. Can I read this now? You grant summons to life to intelligence with corpse in your range, allowing you to answer questions you pose. Must have a mouth and can't be undead. The spell fails the corpse target. The spell within the last 10 days. Spell ends. You can ask the corpse up to 5 questions. Okay. So it only knows what it knew in life, including languages it knew. Answers are usually brief, cryptic, or repetitive, and the cops no compulsion to offer a truthful answer. Spell doesn't return soldiers. Just cops can't. Okie dokie. 5 questions.
Right.
Okay, so you press speak with dead, and a spectral visage kind of sits up from the body, and it looks at you open mouthed.
Horror struck by this.
Yeah. I don't think Nigrex really kind of thought about what he was doing here. So he just asks quite plainly, "Where are we?"
Spire.
Sort of Nigrex sort of thinks on this for a moment. Doom, with this information, does Nigrex recognize this area as the second level of the spire that we went into recently?
As you look out,
any
it
distinct
does not look
landmarks?
like the second layer.
Different spire.
Possibly. Second question will be, how do we leave here?
Through the door. Through the gates.
Where is that
Well-
located relative to here?
It looks out into the distance. To the east.
Okay. Does anything look different to the east?
There's 1 or 2 towers, but that's about all, really.
That's about all. Okay. Before, actually, does it have to be me specifically who asks the questions for this spell? I assume it is.
I'd assume it would be giving you cast the
Yeah,
spell.
I always assume so. Okay, before I ask my final 2 questions, I turn to the other party members to ask if there's anything that they want me to ask it.
His family should know what happened to him.
What exists here? We've seen the giant creature down there. What are the dangers await?
I relay this question to the body.
What was the
It's
question?
basically, what dangers await in this place? Like, what's here?
Goblins, bugs, spiders, lizards, great lizards,
Okay.
ravenous trolls, planes,
So
darkness, darkness, darkness.
okay, and before I ask the final question, I just go to the party. Would you be okay with me asking the final question as how far the gate is from here?
That is our most pressing concern.
So I ask it that question. How far is the gate relative to our current position?
1 mile.
Okay, and that's my final question.
And with that, it just simply fades, evaporating like mist.
Okay. I apologize for not telling you about that ability earlier. It's something that just recently stirred in me. I thought it would be helpful, considering how dire our situation is.
Okay, I too had a wave of
I'm not a magic
necromantic
man.
knowledge come to me.
That I've never seen that before. It's stricken me. But we
Clerics,
have information now. 1 mile.
1 mile to the east, I believe it said.
That is a small march. I just hope there's not much danger along the way.
Before we go down, Doom, I'm going to look towards... Nigrex is going to look towards where he saw the T-Rex last. Are there any fresh tracks on the ground or sign that it's moved towards that position again?
Roll perception. As you're looking around the foliage, you do see signs of tracks towards the edge of the tree line. As you're looking to trying to depict which direction they were going in, you see a brief flash of light in the trees.
A brief flash of light in the trees. With 21, am I able to get any impression of what that is?
It was fire,
It was fire.
like an explosion of fire.
Do I hear the sound?
A few seconds pass, and you hear what seems to be like an impact sound. And
Do we all hear this or just Nogmax?
just Nagrax, given he's the only one that went over to the edge, I'll say.
Okay, Nigrex hearing that immediately tells the party and urges them to start moving down. Their position could be under attack.
Before I leave the tower, can I carve off the mimic's tongue?
You go over to it, and it seems to be in a high state of decay.
That's what about the corpse?
Yeah, I'll look
Well,
over.
exactly the same.
Inspect it. It's rotting.
The human corpse is just going stiff with rigor mortis right now.
Was it quite advanced stages of decomposition?
The human corpses?
Nope.
Decomp?
Nope. Just rigor
No?
mortis.
Sorry about this, friend. I want to try and cleave off his other arm.
Okay. I'd say you cut off his arm.
Don't make the pun, Zach.
Yeah, thank you. I guess I'll wrap up the bloody end a bit, and yeah, thanks. I'll take that.
Okay. We got another
Who's
roof
that?
back here.
Oh.
All right. So, as you were, Nagrax.
Just literally telling everyone to start moving down the tower, considering there was an explosion, or what Nigrex believes to be an explosion not far away.
Okay. You guys make your way down the tower. And as you get to the base, you can hear a bit of shouting.
Is the shouting in a language that we recognise?
Yes, it's in common.
Are we able to tell what it's saying from this distance?
No, but it seems to be a lot of exclamation, if you know what I mean. Surprise.
Can I listen to the cries and maybe determine if they're in battle?
All right. Say I won't have you roll, giving you no battle. Yeah, this is the sound of battle.
Put my ear to the ground like arrogant. No, don't really.
No, don't do that.
Battle.
Yeah, don't click a helmet and actually hurt your foot.
Someone's. Did you know that Aragon broke his toe in that scene?
Yeah, that's what I was getting at.
I'll just listen for the shouting. That sound of battle. Maybe others have encountered the large reptile.
Yes, I would probably say that we circle around to try and see what's going on, but let's not get involved in the battle if they're not people that we need to save.
Okay, so you guys go down and you go out of the tower. Once you're on ground level, you can see down the road quite clearly over here. You can see the T-Rex lean down to try and chomp at someone who jumps back quickly and swings forward with a sword.
Could we tell if these people are part of the cult of Eldath?
They're not wearing the cult's robes.
They don't look like cultists. Maybe we should help.
Can I spot if they are wearing anything that would identify them? Any uniform, insignia, anything?
Roll a perception. There's nothing glaringly obvious at that range. You see different robes, different armors. They don't seem to be like they're wearing a single uniform, though.
They just look like common people. Do we help?
But they're geared.
Do they appear to be winning the battle?
They do, yes.
Right. Nigrex will make this observation and say, if this is actually a spire, it's possible that these adventurers are actually equipped to deal with this threat. We may actually be interfering more than we help, in considering that the battle's in their favour for the moment.
I have a few long-range spells. I could attack it from here if we do decide to help.
I'm guessing that is this to the east, Doom? The direction that this battle's occurring?
Yes.
Right. Nagox will kind of ponder his words for a moment, look towards to see that this is actually the direction he needs to go, and we probably won't be able to slip around the sides, and will reconsider his previous statement and say, well, then again, it does appear that this creature is in the way. Yes, let's try and hit it with a few long-range spells to make the fight a bit easier.
Mm.
With that, how far away are we?
I would just like to throw a fireball at it, as Nargrak said that.
Actually, Nagrax will stop you just before you do that, and he'll say, I'll shoot a guiding bolt at it first. It'll make it a little bit easier for you and everyone else to hit. So, because guiding bolt, I believe, has a 120-foot range.
Same with fireball.
Yeah, 120-foot range. Okay, Nagrax will aim at the T-Rex, and he will cast that at level 1.
12 does not
Can
hit.
I ever hit with this fucking spell? I don't think I've hit a
You
guiding
cast-
bolt yet.
Your bolt goes flying and it just goes straight past its shoulder. It kind of follows it for a second, and two of the people who are in the fight also notice it. And one of them looks over towards everyone.
Okay.
And then straight back to the fight after seeing you.
I will cast fireball at it after that.
Could we get any impression of what their reaction to that was? I'm basically
roll
trying
perception. I'll let you roll perception.
Trying to determine if they're grateful or whether they think we're getting in the way. Perception, did you say, sorry?
Yes.
I suppose that will spur the moment, so I won't give myself guidance for that. 24.
Nice.
Okay. You can see the face quite well. They seem to be a bit annoyed at you.
Right. In that case, before Flint casts that, I'll just put my hand on his hand and just go, it's as I suspected. I think they're equipped for this fight, so we'll probably be interfering. Let's try and see if we can just slip by instead.
As you say that, the one that looked at you and looked quite annoyed turns back to it and jumps up at it. And whilst in the air, makes 4 attacks and outright blinds it. It stumbles back, screeching, and as she lands, she again jumps and then repeats the same action.
Oof.
But this time, when she lands, the T-Rex also lands.
Well, that was quite impressive.
Is it dead?
Yes. And with that,
Oh.
the person will turn around and start to walk up towards you. I'm just going to use a little squirt to represent them for now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna walk over. I'm gonna come over, clap.
Yeah.
That was an impressive display.
The person that approaches you is a woman. She seems to be about middle age. She's quite well buff.
Yeah. Nagrax will apologize as she approaches for the interference. You'll just say, apologies, I misread the situation.
I'm gonna barge him out of the way. Clearly, my friend here thought you were a mere damsel in distress. He did not see what I saw.
Nagrax looks slightly annoyed as you say that.
Yes, it seemed you didn't. Do you not know good hunting etiquette? She's wearing a full plate mail. She has a longsword on her right side, a shield in her left arm. And you notice against her hip, she has a guild token. And it's the same as your guys, but on it is stamped A.
Okay.
Well, we are used to the hunt, but not a piece quite as that. It's a very impressive feat. Greetings. My name is Simeon.
She looks down at your hand for a second, then back up at you, and then sheaths her sword, then holds out her hand and shakes it. Medalia. I'm of the Kings of the Craft. Yourself?
Oh.
I'll pull out my token and twirl it. The very same, though I fear we are not as skilled as you.
D-rank, what are you doing here?
Ah. Perhaps my friend here would better explain that. It's a matter of the arcane. I'm just sort of dragging Flint in.
What?
A matter of the arcane, I think.
We stumble. Oh, sorry. Are you asking Flint this question?
Whoever.
If Narvax wants to jump in, I will allow him.
I'm just backing out
Yeah.
of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nagrax will just step forward and explain. We had a run-in with an arcane stone circle. When we stepped through it, we seem to appear here. We're not entirely sure where we are right now. I assume that this is a spire, but I'm not quite sure if it's the spire that we know.
We teleported here?
I can't really think of any other explanation. We were in one place and here we are.
That shouldn't be possible.
I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you, but those are the events that led up to our encounter here today.
A foe got away from us. Have you seen? I don't know the description of Velen off by heart, so can it say, "Have you seen?" and then describe Velen to her?
I think
Sure.
I was just about to say we got a good look at him as we were fighting him to the death. Too.
I honestly can't remember what he.
He's a half elf, about
That's it.
say about 6 foot high.
Still alive.
Medium build, still alive. He has. I can't remember if I said anything about his physical appearance.
He had like a beard, didn't he?
I think he said he had a beard because I know Zach said.
Yes.
He doesn't anymore.
Oh right, okay. It was kind of singed.
He has
wasn't it?
brown hair. He looks to be about middle-aged. So you pass all that on.
So he comes here?
She shakes her head. No, but we only entered the spire about an hour and a bit ago. You were in here overnight as well?
Yes,
Yeah.
we were.
Yeah. Encountered many strange foes.
Including.
You're lucky you're not dead.
No, of course we're not dead.
Yeah. Nagrax looking over at the T-Rex goes, "We did actually encounter that thing a couple of times, but we managed to evade its notice. But I must admit we are rather fortunate to have come across you." And he kind of holds out his hand to shake hers, and he just says, "You have my thanks for your timely intervention."
He shakes it. A lot of shaking today.
A lot of gratitude to go around.
It's a good thing you found that tower. If you didn't find that, you would not have survived the night. Especially if the raptors got to you. They normally tend to travel in packs about 30.
Guess we were quite fortunate. We all encountered the four.
Must have just come across some stragglers. We were very fortunate, it seems.
Seems so.
So,
Do you need guidance back out of the tower? You probably shouldn't be this deep.
Yes.
The 4th floor, by the way, in case you didn't know where you were.
Yes. We've suspected it might have been the 2nd floor. We went up there one time. It looks somewhat similar to this, but this is distinctly different.
You will find more open plains on the 2nd. This is jungle.
Yeah. Nagrax also asks, we are in Kron, aren't we?
She kind of raises an eyebrow there. Yes, you're in Kron.
Well,
She looks around then. Well, technically speaking.
Considering the nature of how we've got here, we can't be so sure.
never teleported before. We could have been halfway across the world for all we know.
Frankly, it's more impressive they even got in here like that. I've never heard of something like that happening before.
You say
Come on.
You say you entered the spire recently.
Yes.
What is the situation in Kron?
The situation? Well, it seems to still be going to shit like always lately. We've still got a lot of people being quite angry at tieflings. That's nothing new, though.
No, that's sort of the reason why we're here. We encountered a horrific sight. We reacted. Maybe it wasn't the best course of action.
I'm just looking ashamed because I knew I could have tried to stop it.
She looks you all over. I'll help you get down to the next floor, but you'll be on your own from there. We have some hunting to do.
I appreciate that.
It's more than
Many
enough. You've already helped us so much. But yes, if you could provide us passage down to the next floor, we'll be able to take it from there.
She nods, and then she leads the way. As you pass the T-Rex, you see that the others that were with her are currently harvesting the body for parts. And I'll give you the general overmap of the 4th floor.
So where are we relative to this, Doom?
You are about there.
Okay. Okay, I'll just zoom in on that then.
These larger towers, the square ones, are not actually meant to be visible to you. They're just kind of markers for the entrance and exit.
Okay.
To refer back to.
Yeah, okay. I mean, obviously,
Okay.
we're not got the bird's eye view here. This is just for.
And
the
also,
players.
this isn't to scale. It's just kind of representation.
Yeah, I get it.
Oh, so it's not 40 feet to the tower?
Sure.
To the exit? Damn it.
Okay, so you guys are making your way to the East Tower, where Madalia will see you off, and then turns back and returns. You make your
Actually,
way.
Doom, before Medalia leaves, I ask for directions, sort of, for when we get down to the 3rd and the 2nd floor, just to give us an idea of which way to go.
She looks back over to you and raises an eyebrow.
And once again, I
Head for
remind
the
her that
southwest.
we came here in an unusual manner.
You want to go for the southwest tower. It's on the island, the bigger one of them. It's on the other side of the trees, on the small mountains. You'll be able to find it easily enough.
Okay.
If you survived a night here, I'm sure you'll be fine with the trolls. And with that, she's gone.
Okay.
Happy hunting, I'll say as she leaves.
Okay.
What
You
a
guys
woman.
make your way down a a twisting tunnel, which eventually leads down to this exit entrance. You follow her directions, and you eventually make your way towards the way down to the next floor. I'll roll a single encounter. Roll a d6.
Which
Actually,
one of
yeah.
us?
Whoever wants to roll it first.
Already way ahead of you.
Simon's already. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. So these one out of all of them, other than nothing. Okay. 2 hounds appear. They seem to be quite muscular but malnourished dogs.
Are they hostile?
They seem to be hostile towards you all. They have their hackles up.
Yeah. If
They're low
the
health, so not going to bother going into a combat map.
Yeah.
So, what do you do?
I want to squat down and try and coax one over.
One of them starts to come forward, but the other one doesn't.
I had other uses for this, but I'll pull out the arm that I chopped off.
Wow.
I just-
Offer it.
Wow.
I was actually going to say, before you do that, Simeon, Nagrax would just say, I do just have a ration I could probably just throw over there.
I have some poke
Its
scratches
eye
left.
is very on the arm.
You think a beast like this wants trail rations? No. They need meat. This poor fellow is no longer in need of his.
Fine, I defer to your expertise then, Simeon.
Roll animal handling with advantage.
I was looking at my ring of animal influence. That's the only reason I'm doing this.
Can't you just use that?
It's more fun, shenanigans.
Shenanigans.
Animal handling with advantage, you say?
Yes. It's okay, with 19, it'll take the arm off you, and then it'll move back over to the other dog, or hound, and then they'll both start to move away.
You
Cool.
can speak to animals with that ring, by the way.
They're gone.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Well, that's one less enemy. Not every battle has to be won with a sword. That's another piece of simian wisdom. Let us go.
Finian, you kind of
Who
looks
are
at
you? And what are you
Nargrax.
doing with Simeon?
That is the least, or probably the least likely thing I expected him to say, to be honest.
What have you done with the real Simeon?
I must be honest, Finian. Considering what we've seen over the past few days, I don't really think much surprises me right now.
Okay, so you guys continue down. Given that was the only encounter, you don't need to worry about anything else on that floor.
That floor.
Make your way down to the second layer. You come out through this section here.
Oh,
And you generally know the topography from this place.
This seems
So you make your
familiar.
way towards the other staircase. And should I make you roll an encounter for
we
this
also
one?
did ask for directions to the second floor entrance as well.
You did. I don't do a roll table for this one. I thought I did. Sure, I did actually. Oh, right, there it is, yep. Okie dokie. Someone roll a d6.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay,
Okie dokie.
1.
That could be very good or very bad or anything in between.
Looks like you're going with the in-between. Okie dokie, bear with me for a second.
Sorry, ignore that.
Hey, I mean,
Ignore that.
in between isn't the best or the worst thing it could be.
Ignore that.
Is this a roll to assassinate Nargrax for poor luck again?
No, I
You're not
misclicked.
denying
I
it.
meant to click the cross icon. I said no. It was a misclick.
Okie dokie. You suddenly find yourselves surrounded by a pack of wolves. And roll for initiative.
Okay.
Given how many there are, for easy's sake, I'm going to have them all go in the same group. It's just frankly easy to keep track of.
Okay.
Hey, a decent initiative roll.
Yeah, bully for you.
60.
That's still a good initiative roll by my standards.
Finian did much better.
Oh, no, I expect him to at this point, given his performance tonight.
Let's see. Let's... Wolves will be going right in the middle. Nope, I just write it down 11 instead of Nargrax.
Mm.
Okay. So, Finian gets to open up with combat. Gonna run over to the first doggo, and he's gonna give it a smack in the face. Oh, it was actually on my actions panel. Also help if I actually had the right page open for these. Where did I put the wolf? Okay, so AC 13. So that hits. He does a 6 damage to the one in front of him. Doesn't kill it, so he's going to go for another hit. Right, so Yara knocks out the first dog. He's quite squishy.
Mm.
And then he's going to use his movement to
Yeah.
get closer to this one, and he's going to do his offhand strike. Also hits. Oof. Right, so that's going to be 10 to that one. Out of... Okay then. Alright, track the health on these guys. Okie dokie. And now that is going to be Flint's turn.
Yeah. Have a guess what I'm doing? I'm going to
That's-
cast Fireball
Fireball?
there. Yeah.
Oh dear.
Okay.
Fireball there.
No, that'll do it.
Which should hit the 4
what was the range? Was it 20?
20 foot.
um, uh,
Like-
20 radius. So all the way
And was
around.
center
Right.
exactly?
There.
That hit us.
Got
Right, do you catch
evocation
Simeon?
savant. I can shield this from it.
Oh yeah, fair
I
enough.
have
forgot about that.
evocation savant. Yeah.
I did forget about that. Okay, so yeah, you
Yeah.
hit all 4.
I think it's a deck saving throw.
It's a dex save. Yep.
Is it 15?
15.
Actually, what is it? The dex buff +2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okie dokie. Roll the damage. If you're extremely lucky, you're probably going to kill him anyway, but
I mean,
Roll 20's been really slow at the moment.
you can do it. Roll 20. Keep the tab open, it might help.
Not roll 20. Sorry, D&D Beyond.
I know what you meant. Yeah.
I think it might be
Yeah.
your whole connection because your Discord's quite stuttery. Too.
Yeah.
I saw
Really?
32.
Oh, there we go.
30.
Wow.
Okie dokie. So
good roll.
you kill all 4 of them. Damn. You happy now? You kill a bunch of dogs.
Yes, I am. Could I use a bonus action to take a scroll out of the bag and aim it at
Go ahead.
the one directly south of me?
Roll a d20.
1d20.
Yep.
This could go terribly wrong.
I was just thinking out of us two stood right next to you.
I should get 7 again.
I mean, to be fair, that's
19.
Okie dokie, let's have a little look see at the list.
Oh no, I don't like that laugh.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, this is a little fun one.
Fun for who?
Ye-
dude?
Okay.
Use a message
Yeah,
at a
for
random
who?
enemy. So, what do you tell them?
You
Send a message in a
you saw what I
bottle.
just did to you. Yeah, bad dog.
You see the tail on this one, stop wagging.
Oh, no, I feel awful.
Okay,
Yeah, I'll
end
end my
your
turn. Yeah. Shenanigans.
Okie, now it's the wolf's turns. Let's see what their attack modifier is. +4 to hit. Okie dokie, so we're going to have 2 of them. Actually, you know what? These 2 are going to go straight for you, Flint. You said a mean thing,
True.
and that one's partner.
Oh snap.
Okay, so the first one misses.
Yeah, the second one will hit. That's a lot of rolls.
It's because they have advantage pack tactics.
Okay.
So the second one got a 19, and the first one got a 10. I assume the 19 hits.
Yeah. I don't want to waste a spell slot. I'll say they both hit.
Oh, so the 10 hits as well.
Meets it, beats it, right?
Alright, fair enough. So first damage takes 6 piercing, and another 6 piercing.
Alrighty then.
And the other 2 are going to
Nice.
go for Finian. They're a big old nope, and they're 2 far away to get advantage. Okie dokie. Now that is Nagax's turn.
Okay, are these two in front of us still alive? Just gonna swing into the one nearest to me with the mace.
That does not hit.
Does not hit. Damn it. I think that's all he'll do for now then.
Okay, and that's Simeon's turn.
Okay, I'll unsheath the battle axe and go swinging. What was the? This has a very specific effect against beasts, doesn't it?
First beast in combat, you have advantage on the attack against.
I assume these are beasts.
Yes. Arr.
That's a very mean thing to say.
I'm going to assume I hit.
Nope.
No, not with the 25. No.
Nah, sorry, that's just too low. Yes, you hit.
14 damage to one of them.
Well, you straight up cleave it. It's in half.
Alright, cool. Second attack the other one then.
Go ahead.
Just regular, no advantage now. Okay. 16.
That hits. 8 damage.
damage.
Okay, you hurt it quite a lot.
I'm going to use my Shield Master ability, bonus action thing, to shove it 5 feet away. That way.
Okay. I say you're stood on top of this guy, by the way.
Yeah.
Actually, I can't see it. Move that down one.
With him being shoved, does he... Oh, sorry. Which one did he shove? Did he shove this one?
No, I just moved that one out of the way.
Ah, right.
This guy.
I was just wondering if he's actually moved into my range or not, or...
No, 5 feet away, you'll still be in your range.
He's still in my range, okay.
Has he left my
yours.
combat square?
Yes.
That's what I was
Can I
looking
get
for.
opportunity attack?
Yes.
Trying to
Right,
make
then I would
gain
like.
system.
I'd like to attack it with the quarters. Well, range of quarterstaff Simeon gave me.
Go ahead.
$19.
That hits.
And 1 damage? Okay.
Okay, you bonk it on the nose.
I'm sure it said. Whatever. It rolled the 200 damage as well. Yeah, whatever. I'll end my reaction.
I'll
whatever.
wince as I see you bring that spear shaft down. Also, I completely forgot the ruling for the shield thing. It's supposed to be a strength versus strength. I keep forgetting about that. That's my bad.
Right, and now it goes back to the top of the turn order to Finian. He is going to make 3 smacks.
God damn. Is he missed tonight?
God
Yeah.
damn. Okay,
He
so
might actually be able to get his arms out.
one of them's dead. The other one's dead. Finian stands there breathing heavily.
Save some for the rest of us, Finny.
I mean, I just killed 4 over there. Did you not see it?
He's going to use movement to run over. He's going to flick the dog's tail. Now it's Flint's turn.
Alright, then I will put my quarterstaff away and attack it with one of these silver daggers I found.
Okay, make a dagger attack.
Seven.
Does not hit.
I will use my 2-weapon fight and then use a secondary dagger to attack it.
Go on then. That does
22.
hit. You don't get your modifier on this attack, though.
Oh,
It's just the
19
base
then.
the dagger damage.
Yeah.
Well, you get the modifier on the attack, which is not the damage, specifically.
Alright, I don't have any damage modifiers.
Right, that's
2.
2 damage, and you just about managed to kill it. And the doggo is dead. Queen is breathing a little bit heavily.
Are you okay there, Finian? You look a bit worn out.
Yeah.
By my count,
Seeing that Finian's quite...
Flint won
Oh,
that
sorry,
one
go
5-3. Impressive feat, Finian, but Flint's got the area of effect down.
Doom, seeing that Finian is quite exhausted after our first fight of the day, Nagrax just wants to do a medicine check just to see if everything is alright.
Oh yeah, sure. Let's roll your medicine. Yeah, everything's fine.
Right.
It seems a little bit kind of full of adrenaline from the fight and beating this shit out of several things in a row.
Nagrax just taps his shoulder and just goes, "Really fine work, Finian."
Thanks. Starting to get a bit better.
Definitely.
I look around, Nagrax looks around and just goes, "Yes, I'm inclined to agree." And
He puts his
As,
chest out a
as we
little bit.
walk off,
what was that?
I'll-
Sorry,
I'll-
Doom?
Sorry.
He puts his chest out a little bit.
Okay. And with that, I assume we continue on our way.
As we walk off, I'll nudge Nardrex. You finished last in that bout. Keep up next time.
Indeed. Although I think, to be honest, I'm starting to accept that. Probably not my place. I'm just content for us all to walk out relatively unscathed at this point.
I just look at the bite wounds in my arm when he says that.
You guys make your way to the next exit. You pass multiple people on the way who are going off on various little hunting trips. A few people have already bagged various animals. You got some people that have a bunch of wolf corpses in particular. And you pass them, give them a nod. And you make your way through the lower level, through the caves.
Bunch
you
of
make-
freebies back there.
Might have burnt a few of them though.
Thanks. I needed the gold. And you make your way to the main exits. You're greeted by the guards on the way out, and one of them approaches you, asking, who are you?
Which one of us is he talking to?
All of you.
Guild members. Kings of the craft.
What were your names? He looks down at a little chart.
Now, here's the thing, my friend. We didn't go through the spire by conventional means. We found ourselves there by accident, so we will not be on your list.
You won't be on the list. Everyone goes on the list going in. Was it from yesterday? Did you say overnight?
Yes. As I said, unconventional means.
Well, you get yesterday's list. We need to check them out. Make sure before we send in the search party. I know you mentioned there was someone last night. Was it just one, or someone comes over with another list, hands it to the person you're talking to? We've only got one listed here that didn't come out last night. His name was David. No, it was only David.
David, what a strange name.
Yes, he was a human sorcerer. You haven't passed anyone in there, have you?
Do you know?
Maybe he was the corpse we encountered. I whispered to Nograx.
Oh, you whispered it to him.
Yeah.
Hmm.
While you're talking to them.
Do you know what level he was venturing to? We did encounter a body.
No, he did not put that down. He said he was just hunting some available meat, and you're not on this list. There's no one else. Everyone else is checked out. So how did you get in?
As I said, unconventional means. We're not entirely sure.
What do you mean unconventional means? There's only one way in and out.
I would beg to differ, sir. We are standing here. Are we not? We did not go in through that door.
Hold on for a second. He walks away and speaks to someone who runs off, and then he comes back.
That sort of turns to the other guys. Do you think we're about to get arrested?
Tell me a bit more about what you've
Ah.
done exactly.
We found ourselves in the spire. We do not know how, but we did. We came across a corpse. Could be the person that is missing on your lists. I would advise checking the 4th floor in a watchtower. You'll find a man missing both arms. He died to a mimic. It took both of his arms. Quite crazy, really. But we slayed the mimic, as well as a few large reptilian creatures, which I've never seen before. It's absolutely crazy on that floor. And we encountered other guild members. I'll mention her name.
Medallia.
Medallia. We encountered Medallia's group. You have her name?
He looks over his chart. Yes, I do, but that still doesn't explain how you got in there.
Right. I think at this point Nargrax is going to step forward and say, "It's as he said. We entered the spire via teleportation. If you want me to verify the story, I'm quite happy to cast Zone of Truth, so you can verify that what I'm saying is true."
As you say that, several people have started coming up the steps towards you guys in quite heavy armor. One of them immediately stops in front of you all and actually casts Zone of Truth himself. Thank you, Phil. Now, again, how did you get into the tower?
Still asking Nargrax?
Okay,
Yes.
so, Zone of Truth, we can't bullshit, right?
We have to answer within the bounds of the truth.
Within the bounds of the truth.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Nothing I've said is a lie.
yeah, Nargrax will just repeat the same statement by teleportation.
Where from?
From he's kind of just thinking how best to word the answer, because he doesn't basically just blurt out precisely what
We
is in his
actually
head.
know.
Sort of like, it was from a dungeon, but we don't exactly know where it was.
Yeah, we don't actually know where that
We don't actually know where the dungeon itself was.
How did the teleportation work?
It was a stone circle, activated by drawing a circle on a stone. That's to the best of my knowledge what it was activated. I'm not lying.
Who sent you in there like that?
Nobody sent us in there.
Do you have any knowledge on a way to get into the spire without going through the gate?
No, we don't. The only way we've ever entered the spire is the way you described, going through the front door. It was as much a surprise to us as it has been to everyone else. The Medallia who we encountered expressed similar surprise, so we did expect questions on the way down.
How can we find this circle?
Sort of like, it was accessed via. Actually, did we know the name of the church? That we sort of called Delve in.
No, you didn't.
Do we know the general location of it?
No, general location is the Northeast District.
Okay, so I describe a church in the Northeast District, and I describe the well, because I have to answer a straight-up question.
Okay. He makes several notes. He looks up at you, then looks back to the person who cast the Zone of Truth. Your spell is working, isn't it? To which Phil nods.
I like how this random guy has a name.
We have told you no lies here, friend. We are just as confused as you are, believe me.
Let me see your guild tokens there. He looks them over. What's your name of your group?
Kings of the
Well, the
Craft.
Hammer Hands. I'll
Oh, sorry.
present my previous army token.
Don't we have hammer hands on as guild tokens?
I think we just know by the name, don't we? I don't think
Yeah,
anything
just
was
know by the name.
described.
I'm sure You said though that the guild master put hammer hands on his guild tokens opposite his rank.
Possibly could have.
I don't remember. It's possible that they did.
I'll still present the thing.
Yeah. He makes several more notes. We are going to be in touch with your guild about this. We need to know more about it. You're free to go for now. If we find there's any underhanded business, you are going to be facing heavy fines and long explanations.
There is nothing underhanded about us. I can assure you. Our intentions are always pure.
Yeah. Nagrax isn't going to say anything else and he'll move to leave.
And they don't stop you, they simply let you leave.
Okay. As we walk out of earshot, if providing the others are following, Nagrax will say, honestly, that went better than I expected.
I sense a chastisement from Cerna.
I don't think we were going to get out of this situation without a reprimand of some sort. But frankly, we have more pressing concerns right now.
We should probably let the guild master know to be expecting their message.
At the very least, we need to let them know of the cult's activity. We now know what they're up to. Hopefully we can prevent an incoming attack.
Yeah. Nagrax says, Flynn, you still have that book, don't you?
Yes.
We're probably going to need it.
Okay. Once we're safe inside the guild, I shall try and have a look. See what it contains.
So, unless anyone's got any other business, we'll head back to the guild.
Do we head back now?
I would probably say that the sooner we report in, the sooner the more credibility we'll be able to salvage. If someone hears the story of our exploits before we tell it ourselves, we might have a harder time convincing the guild to hear our side.
Agreed.
You are right. I have business to attend to. I'll pick at the bit of the rust on my armor.
Okay. You guys make your way through the town and back towards the guild hall. As you do, you see the same throngs of people that you've saved the past several times, generally watching crowds. If they ever see a tiefling pass by, they'll jeer, they'll throw things, and generally be unhospitable towards them. As you make your way back to the actual guild hall itself, there seems to be more people outside of it, just generally watching the building.
How would you describe these people?
It's a mixture of commoners, basically.
Any reaction as we come closer?
They see you go towards it. They assume that you are part of the guild. They look at you with somewhat scorn.
But nothing towards us specifically.
Not towards you specifically.
Okay.
Do we see any cult members in the crowd? Anyone in robes?
Nobody is in robes.
Just commoners?
There seems to be commoners.
Cool.
Okay.
Okie dokie. And you're all back at the guild.
Is Cerna at the front desk?
She is indeed.
Right. Nagrax will approach and greet Cerna.
Oh, good morning. You didn't return last night. Have a pleasant day.
We need to speak with the guildmaster as soon as possible, Cerna. We have some important matters to discuss with him.
Well, let me just have a little check the schedule. If you go to his office now, he should be available, actually.
Thank you. So, providing that Cerna is motioning Nagrax to pass, he'll just continue on.
Okie dokie. Do you all go, or just Nagrax?
I'm going to stop off at the barkeep and get myself. I need a mug of ale to calm the nerves. It's been a troubling 48 hours.
Sure. One horse manure. Coming right up. Pause your horse manure and a little extra froth.
Oh, my favorite part. I'll sip it as I'm walking.
Okey-dokey.
I'll pay him first.
Oh yeah.
How much
One
would
cup
I
a piece. I think. Was it one cup? Doesn't matter.
I understand that reference.
I mean,
Okay.
maybe the bartender's sampling his own products. He can't seem to remember the prices from day to day.
Drinking horse shit will do that to you.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm joining.
Okey-dokey. You make it to the door. What do you do?
Nigrax will knock on the door and just say that Cerner is kind of allowing us through because we need to discuss something important with him.
Sure. Come in.
Okay. Nigrax won't take a seat. He'll kind of just stand at attention and wait for the others to enter.
The Guildmaster looks up at you all from behind his desk. What can I do for you all today?
Nigrax will first asks, "There's a large crowd outside. What's going on?"
I haven't got a clue, to be honest. They've been like that up most of the morning, really. Why? Is there something I should be worried about?
Maybe not them specifically, but yes, I think we should all be very worried.
He pokes an eyebrow at this.
Sort of like he is deliberately trying to choose his words
Flint.
carefully. Yeah.
Show him the book. I assume you still have the book on the flash going.
As Flint goes to pull it out, to kind of like just move my hand to just say not yet, and I just want to kind of give some context first.
The dramatic reveal.
So Nigrax will say, "I assume that you're familiar with the cult of Eldath."
Yes, I am, of course. They've certainly been gaining power here recently, and they've been doing much more elsewhere as well. But go ahead.
Elsewhere, they exist outside. How large is their force outside this city?
You ever read the newspapers?
A newspaper?
It's a paper that has facts and things like that on it normally.
Nigrax kind of thinks to himself, debatable.
Like a book?
I said normally.
Any thoughts?
Yeah, they've how's best to put this? Have you ever heard of an ethnic cleansing?
I don't think we need to discuss in detail why that is bad for us.
Well, imagine here, like now, but already finished elsewhere.
Nigrax does cock an eyebrow at that.
There actually aren't many places with tieflings left. There's mostly just here, a few other towns surrounding us, and Faln.
Nigrax kind of pauses for a moment and then he just flat out says, "We saw them execute a child in cold blood."
That's definitely troubling. If
I'll
they've gone that far, they're not going to be far off the rest.
We followed.
I'll grip Flint's shoulder.
We went.
I'm assuming he's reacting poorly to that
Sort of.
statement.
Right, and Nigrax continues. We acted somewhat out of turn. I feel we, at my behest, we went down into a dungeon and we saw. Well, I don't think I could begin to describe what we saw.
I will take responsibility for this. As the captain of our team, I take responsibility. But I do not regret our decision.
Before sort of Nigrax continues, before you say anything, please let me finish. As we worked our way through this dungeon, we found some literature which could bring troubling tidings for Kron. I motioned for Flint to show the Guildmaster the book.
I pull out both the black book I found and the one with all the flesh column details.
The Flesh Golem one probably more so.
Yeah. I'll slide that one a bit more forward.
He picks up the book and starts to leaf through the pages quickly.
We encountered one of these beings down in the dungeon. This isn't a hypothetical study. These creatures are very much real.
We
Was
believe they
this
perfected their technique.
Was this with the cult?
Yes.
This doesn't really seem to go with the teachings, though.
Are you surprised that zealots act like hypocrites?
I'm gonna have to look into. How did you get to this dungeon?
It was a portal via a well in a church in the East District.
I'm gonna have to send someone to check on this.
We were teleported into the spire upon leaving this dungeon onto the 4th floor, and before
With
you
that, he
say
arches an eyebrow and looks at you.
before you say anything, yes. Apparently there is no other way to enter the spire, but somehow we did. But what troubles me more frankly is that if that was thought impossible, consider that the cult now has the means to get into places like this.
Right.
We were questioned about this as we exited the spire, obviously. We had to leave through the front door, so that is mostly the reason why we're here today. We wanted to forewarn you that you will probably be given details of what I just told you, but I wanted us to tell our side of the story first.
Okay then. This is quite a lot, frankly. I'd really been hoping that, well, honestly, Eldef would fizzle out.
You've just said, however, that they cleansed most of the world already. Why would they stop here?
We're not exactly a huge town. I was kind of hoping they might have overlooked us. Right.
Their methods seem to be absolute. I don't think there is any room for compromise. That is
I'm
why
going to arrange a group. I'm going to send them to go and investigate this place that you went to. The golems alone are outright illegal to create, so that by itself should be enough for us to outright put a stop to these ones at least.
I would also like to draw your attention to a merchant known as Velen.
Oh yes, Velen. He's quite a good supplier of the scrolls that our guild members used.
We also saw another merchant. I don't think I mentioned this to everyone yet. By the name of Barian.
Arian. I can't say he's one that I know.
Considering
He was the one that murdered the child. He is now a member of the cult.
He was trying to sell me wares a couple of days earlier near the entrance to the spire. He didn't seem like the sort, but I suppose you never really know a person.
Do you have the body?
Unfortunately, we do not. We tried to work out.
We could have used to animate dead or talk to dead on it to got a confession from it to what happened. Without that, it's just you against them.
I suppose that and the book. But I suppose that is circumstantial at best.
I say I'm going to send in a group to go and investigate this, see what they can find. So it's down the well, was it?
Yes.
Okay.
Any object that goes towards the bottom of the well or person seems to be teleported to this dungeon, but unfortunately, we came across Velen in this place and had an altercation with him.
Is he one of the members generally, or
He seems to be more than that. He was leading a service.
God damn it!
If I
Why
may
didn't
be-
I just grow old and die happy? That would have been so much easier.
If I may be so bold, it would seem that the guild have quite significant sway over our commerce, based on what you've told me about Velen. Varian is another merchant. It may be safe to assume that there are others.
Given the way that the influence is spreading here, that wouldn't surprise me, frankly, in the slightest. We're going to have to close borders a bit, but okay. Go on as normal for now. Does anyone know that you have seen what you've seen?
We were questioned by some guards outside of the spire. They used
Do
Zone
they
of
know what
Truth.
you saw down there?
We didn't describe precisely what we've seen. They used Zone of Truth, so we had to tell them where we were, but we didn't describe the horrors, show them the books. We just simply answered the question of how we got into the spire and where they could investigate the entrance. That's the other reason why we came to you so soon, so you could hopefully get there before them.
Right. If they ask again how to get around the teleport, that's the question. I'll think on it. Try not to talk to any more of the guards regarding this until you've spoken to me again.
Maybe it would be
Otherwise,
better if we.
go on.
Maybe it would be better if we left Ron for a while. Although Simeon has.
Hmm.
I say looking over at Simeon.
I'm working on something that might lead to that, but it'll need a few days. I could send you off on a particular mission then, at least, as well. Save you just wandering around the wilderness.
We could probably make ourselves scarce until you can make those arrangements.
Yes, that sounds like a plan.
Be
Okay,
sure
so-
to call us back when the time is needed. I will not abandon the innocent to those tyrants.
Us.
I have no fear of showing my face to these people.
If you don't mind, I'm going to need to have a sit and a think for a little bit. Thanks for coming straight to me to tell me about this stuff. I've been caught off guard by this. That would have been quite bad.
Doom, just generally, can I just read the Guildmaster's general demeanor? I just want to check that he's been genuinely surprised by everything
Yeah,
that we've
sure.
told him.
Go with insight.
Insight?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
16.
he seems sincere. Seems like he might have been expecting some of this to happen a little bit, in particular with it's going to be the mistreatment of tieflings, etc.
Yeah, it's kind of more I want to check that his reactions are genuine.
They do seem to be genuine.
Okay, Nagrax says nothing further, and if there's nothing else, he turns to leave.
Okie dokie.
Do you mind if I study this black book? Quite an extensive arcane knowledge. I feel like it could be quite useful in deciphering it.
He looks at the book briefly. Sure, if you can manage to unlock it, go ahead. Hey, you found it. I don't know what it is, so he just waves his hand.
I'll take the black book.
Okie dokie.
I'll assume he just wants to keep the one with all the
Yes,
details /
he
columns.
continues to read through the other one.
And I shall leave with Nagrax.
Okay.
What time of day is it?
It is morning at the moment.
Yeah. I don't imagine we were in the spy for that long.
You were in there overnight, and then you
But
made your way out.
I
I'd
mean
say
sort
it's
of like
about-
since the beginning of the day.
could be just before lunchtime, just say.
Okay.
But to be honest, I think we will end the session off there.
I think this is a good ending point.
Sure.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I was just going to suggest going shopping anyway. So cool.
Yep. Kind of thought you would. Actually have monies.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, money is.
Oh crap, drop my pen. Where'd my pen go? God damn it. There it is.
So,
Okay. So that was well, exactly where I was expecting it to go, but yeah, that was pretty good for our first session back after what, a month?
Thereabouts, yep.
So,
I was. Sorry, go ahead.
sorry, you go ahead, Alf.
I was just saying, I was really scared that we were going to have someone drop. We were already beat up to shit, and just combat after combat.
I was just
Can you
thinking.
imagine if you'd approached the T-Rex if you hadn't seen it?
I saw the edge of the token. I'm like,
No.
that's something big. I don't want it.
I think really, sort of the longer
The dice were on our side in that. They really were. I mean, you took a big
definitely.
hit, but apart from that,
I mean,
woo!
I was just thinking throughout the Vellum fight, was I budgeting too many spell slots? And then I just thought, no, I think I saved just enough to get us through that.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, with that, let's not delay too longer. And this is the end of the stream, so we now go to shoutouts. So, Doom, do you have anything to say?
Come join me on Twitch. We do all the things. Also, stick with Bug as well. He's good. He's got a lot of things. He's also doing his own campaign. It's going to be a session tomorrow night. It'll be awesome. I get to punch some lizards.
Yeah. Incidentally,
I get to throw them in fires.
Incidentally, Doom, Ufrak is with us at the moment.
Oh shit, so that's Ufrak. I was wondering who that was just then when I was looking. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, just joined us. So, yes, Ufrak.
Just joined us at the end, of course.
Of course, of course. Although there is the VOD for that. Or, alternatively, what a segue this is. This is me. Look at my content on Bugs Bandwagon YouTube. I'm currently doing a Dark Souls playthrough. I've got my own campaign with Horde of the Dragon Queen. I'm also putting up episodes for this on every Friday. Yeah, I know my schedule.
Yes.
So most of the time. But yeah, I'm occasionally. Yeah, you're just saying he's got home for work. Yeah, no worries, in fact. So. Yeah, Dark Souls, I'm streaming on Twitch. Basically, everything I stream on Twitch first before it goes up onto YouTube. That's just kind of like an archive. You can also follow me on Twitter and also on the Bugs Bandwagon Discord if you feel so inclined. And you know what? I just realized I have not been putting the socials up because it's been that long since we've actually done a stream. So if you just give me just a hot minute, I will just put Doom socials. And then when this is finished, I will just post my socials as well. And then, I think that's done now. Yep, let us move on to Zach. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good. Bit overkill there with the wolves, but I wanted to kill something.
I mean, is that the first time you've actually gone to use Fireball on a group? I think you've only used it against Valen, didn't you, before that?
Yeah, on a group, yeah.
Yeah, that was probably the more efficient use of that spell. But you know what? I think our level of done was just so high.
Yeah.
After last time, I think I approve. But anyway, you've got a Discord and you've got a Twitch. I don't think you're doing very much at the moment, but you are in the middle of a Final Fantasy Challenger one, which I do hope to see more from soon. When
I don't think I'll be able to finish it.
Just because of the amount of grinding involved?
Yes.
Yeah.
But I'm working on something else, which hopefully I'll be able to get up and running soon, so who knows?
Yeah,
mystery.
Your schedule is a little bit less consistent these days, to say the least, but I'm hoping to see something from you soon, and I'm sure it'll be really good once you've had the time to put it together. And last, but by no means least, and I think I say that literally every single time I get to you, Elf, is Elf. So, what are you doing at the moment?
I am sticking to a consistent stream schedule.
Good man.
That's one of those.
Playing pretty much anything right now. I've recently started getting into PUBG again.
Well, I need to join you guys on that.
It's been real fun. I forgot how fun that game can be.
I think I played PUBG with you guys literally as you were about to stop playing, and it's like, I've just never been into the game at the same time as you guys. But yeah, I might join you on a stream in the near future.
I'm bad at it, don't worry.
Also, there's bots now, so it makes it a bit easy.
Yeah. But yeah,
thanks
that's
for the
what
follow.
I'm doing. I'm playing whatever comes to mind 3 days a week. The YouTube, it is coming back. I really do mean to start posting Pokemon challenges and map art videos and whatever else. And I also have Twitter and Discord. Click the links if you like.
But yeah, be looking forward to all of that. But as for right now, thank you very much for anyone who is here and is watching us. And hopefully we will be back with Secrets of Neros roughly the same time next week, hopefully. And it definitely won't be another month. But I suppose there's really no guarantees these days.
Tomorrow.
Well, actually, no. We'll be back with Horde of the Dragon Queen tomorrow, hopefully. I think we said 9 o'clock, didn't we?
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yes.
Yeah, so
We
anyone
should.
who is here who wants more of this nonsense can see me DM for the second time and just not really understand what fauna is or how hills work. Yeah.
Also, Ufrak, there's loads of YouTube videos of the past sessions. Watch as I learn how to DM.
Yeah, I would definitely say, Ufrak, if your attention span can take it, go back and see our escapades in Neros. So there's a couple of episodes missing here and there due to us kind of not starting the campaign on stream. But yeah, most of it's there. And he's on it.
Check
Many,
out
many
the episode. I think the sacrifice is it. That's the good one.
That's not up yet. That is literally that is 2
Oh.
weeks away.
Oh.
Check that one out when it goes up.
That was good. That was good.
Because we were on episode 14. Also, subscribe to my YouTube if you want to.
Also.
Also, all the things. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, this has probably gone on for a bit longer than I sort of intended for an outro, so I'm going to cut this stream here. So until next time, it's goodbye from me and goodbye from everyone else, and we will see you next time.
That's the way to go.